Welcome to LIS754 Systems Analysis and Design, and in this session we are going to talk about the assignment for our process modeling. Just as a reminder, we are going to produce process models, a process flow, which is a visual representation of our system. It is both abstracted to generalize the system. It is also detailed to help us understand the different components and how they relate to each other. This is a communications document. It helps you tell other people what your system will do, but it also helps you double check your requirements, that this is indeed right, that you don't find things that are missing. It's a way to illustrate the connections between these different components of how they are going to work together. It starts to show you about your data. It starts to show you about interface issues. It starts to get everything, it starts to coalesce all of the different components of your system as you are going forward. The assignment is pretty straightforward. I want you to use some kind of a flowcharting software package such as Gliffy. You can use the shape function in PowerPoint or in Word to create a flowchart for your systems. I want you to be detailed. I want you to use the proper flowchart shapes and conventions, which there are a number of videos on the website, on the Canvas site, that will help you with that. You should be clear, detailed, and concise. I would like you to write a short description of your process flow, somewhere between 300 and 500 words, to submit along with your process flow. And as with all our other component building assignments, I want you to share this with your team, ask questions, incorporate that feedback into your flowchart and document, and turn it in on the assignments page when it's due. So how do you start with this? So we've talked about this, and it's, you've watched the videos and you may be a little confused where to start. So I like to start with either a paper and pencil or with a set of sticky notes, post-it notes. You want to define the process to be diagrammed. So take a couple of take your most important use cases and diagram these out, and start by deciding on the boundaries. And you've got sort of your boundaries started if you're going to take one or two, take one of your primary use cases. Start with that. Brainstorm the activities that are to take place. So in your in your use case, you will have a series of steps. That's a good place to start. Some of those steps can be condensed. Some of those steps can be enumerated, or it can be expanded in your process. Determine the decision points. Those decision points are going to be the diamonds, right? Most of the activities are going to be squares. You're going to determine decision points. You're going to arrange these in a sequence. You're going to start drawing the arrows between these components. If you have your activities on note cards or on sticky notes, you can rearrange them. If you have paper and pencil, you're going to erase or start over several times. And any of those processes are fine. But this is the, this is the process by which you're going to do this. Once you get all your activities, you put them in a sequence, you add the arrows. So Gliffy is a nice little software package. You can make 5 drawings for free. You can, it's a nice little package. I've used it and I like it. Here's what it looks like. You start at www.gliffy.com. You can sign in, you can start drawing. It'll ask you, here are different templates. Flowchart works the best. When you hit open, you get a blank screen. You can create a title for it. It has all of the lovely arrows, all of the lovely shapes. This connector works much better than the arrows. The connectors will draw these will make this connector shape, and when you move a box or add a box, it will move with you. So if you use these arrows, you don't get that; they're just static. But these will move with you. You drag and drop the shapes over, right? This is a screenshot because YouTube degrades the video so much. It's very, very hard to see any kind of a web demonstration, so I'm not doing a live demonstration. But when you hover over these shapes, it will tell you what the shape is. So it's very nice. This will say the start shape. This will say a process. This will say decision, sort of things. You can make multiple flowcharts on the same document, so that might work for being more efficient. This is an example of an interactive flowchart. So this is one where an interactive process. We have a login process. This is for my system that I'm thinking about for GSLIS for helping students organize their materials for their ePortfolio. So this is for students uploading data. So the students will log in. If the authentication is complete, no, they have to try again. Otherwise, yes, it's complete. And you'll notice that this is pretty abstracted. I have a number of use cases in the use case document for these. I am not so concerned about that in this process. I'm really concerned about the uploading data. So I've abstracted this. I've made it more general. They create the metadata. Then there's a verification process, and I want to see within this creating metadata process, is the metadata okay? If there are errors, you have to go back and fix them. If there are no errors, the metadata gets saved. It gets saved to this database. I'm going to ask people if they want to, the students, if they want to add data files. If they do, yes, they're going to upload data. I'm going to ask them if they want to upload more data. If they do, it's going to continue. The data will go into the student data files data set. If the answer is no, then I'm going to ask if they want to upload more metadata. If it's no, we're done. If they don't want to add files, I'm going to ask them if they want to add more metadata files. If they do, they go up. If they don't, they go to the end. A pretty straightforward process. This indicates internal processes, so this check for metadata. It indicates user choices, add more files, add more, do more uploads, those kinds of things. So it indicates there's a lot of information, again, in a small amount of space. And we can have a batch example too. So this is not interactive, this is just manual. This is for the program assessment. So this is a set of reports that are going to come out for program assessment. The data needs to be extracted from the repository database. That extracted metadata, that extracted data is held in an intermediate data file. The data gets collated. The format gets the report gets formatted and the report gets sent. So just another view of a different type of process flow. I want you to make enough of these process flows that your system is well documented. I don't want to say 4. I don't want to say 3. I don't want to say 6. Pick your most important use cases and create process flows for them. Let me know if you have any questions.